When you tell one lie, it leads to another. When you tell two lies to cover for another. When you tell three lies, oh, brother, you're in deep SHIT, as Joel Harden is, and as the community will not let himself step out of until he stops digging himself into it. Is this it?
How can I go to that movie? I know. I'll say I've got to go to Jim's to finish her science project. That's a good lie.
That's a good
When
lie.
you tell one lie, it leads to another. You tell two lies to cover each other.
It might have given me a nightmare when I was a kid. But...
And you tell three lies.
Oh, brother.
Doing trouble up to your ears. So you tell four lies to try to protect you. Then you tell five lies to folks.
Can we all appreciate this is exactly what Joel Harden and his posse have done? One lie leads to another, two lies to cover for another, three lies, oh brother, four lies to protect you.
Then you tell six lies, and then you collect a life full of worries and fears.
A life full of worries and fears. The only thing is I think Joel doesn't have any of those.
When you lie, you're closing the door on everything.
Man, it's long. Okay, let's just get to the end of this.
I'm not going to Jim's really. I just want to go to a movie. I'll never lie again. Honest.
Good.
Are you all right?
There's no such thing as a good lie. From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Who remembers those commercials from childhood? The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Someone should send that to Joel Harden. Because, oh boy, has he lied and continued to lie, and we're going to go through it now. All right, let's start from the beginning. Some of you might already know this because I've been talking about it pretty much obsessively for the last weekend. It happened Friday. Ottawa protest on Friday, put on by Josh Alexander, Billboard Chris, called Education, Not Indoctrination, about not indoctrinating kids about gender ideology, trans ideology, all this crap in school. Okay, there was a protest or a demonstration, a march. Counter-protesters were there wearing face masks, committing acts of violence, which we're going to get into, by the way, because the more Joel Harden lies, the more the acts of apparent assault that his posse committed on film start to emerge. The incident came and went. I have been corrected by Pleb the reporter that apparently one of the protesters on the Education, Not Indoctrination side was arrested, a young man, from what Pleb the reporter told me. But the only arrests that I heard of on the day were on the other side, two Antifa members. But apparently maybe one person from the Education, Not Indoctrination side got arrested as well. I didn't see any meaningful violence. Some shoving, some brouhaha, but nothing more than that. I get home, I see a tweet from Joel Harden, and it says, in respect of this mob, that he got punched in the face. Okay. I said, I don't believe you. I'm not calling you a liar. Show the video evidence, and we can all move on. The aggregate knowledge of the internet pulled it up. And it turns out that he got smashed in the face with his own bullhorn. Clear as day on video. Well, then Joel Harden posts an update Sunday before the stream. It says, update. I was punched in the face and it glanced off the bullhorn, but the bullhorn went into my face. And that's how I cut my face. Yeah, this is the summary in a tweet. Punching people in the face, but I'll take a punch for queer, trans any day. All right, didn't happen. Here we go. This one is Ariel Troster, who says, I saw my dear friend get punched in the face. Then we got one from, what's this one? Ariel Troster, after the lie has been exposed, puts out, for the record, this is what I saw. A smack punch that smashed the megaphone into his face. We went from punched in the face, a sitting MP, to a punch that pushed it into his face. Okay, that's one liar covering up their steps. Then Joel Harden. Oh, sorry, this is Jugmeat Singh saying, I'm proud of my boy. I'm proud of my boy Joel Harden standing up for rights by lying about hate crimes. Okay. He comes out and says, they hit the megaphone and it went into my face. And then, listen to this, he goes and does an interview. Joel Harden does an interview. And this is what he says in his own words about the incident. Listen to this. When you tell one lie, it leads to another.
Moment for our city.
Okay. Your initial claim was that you were punched in the face by an activist on Friday, and that was what was in the media on Sunday, you've clarified that, like, if I tell you I was punched in the face, I just feel like, or if I say on the radio, hey, I was punched in the face yesterday, I feel like people will assume that a fist made contact with my actual face.
If I say I was punched in the face, I assume people are going to think it means I was punched in the face. This is after his update clarification tweet, from what I understand. So listen to how Joel cannot keep up with his own lies.
There's a megaphone here involved. Can you sort of clarify, like, maybe that a punch did not connect with your actual face, correct?
Oh, no, it was a punch.
It did. As I said and clarified in that statement, Greg, I've been a union organizer for many years. And
pay attention to the distraction here. This is a classic indication of a liar. You got punched in the face. Greg, I have a lot of experience with breaking up fights and union organizing. And let me just distract you so that you sort of try to forget about what the question you just asked me was. I'm going to go on a tangent that has nothing to do with the question you just asked.
I've been a union organizer for many years, and I'm familiar with trying to break up altercations with people when emotions get overheated. I put my body between these two women, the one person from the anti-transgender rally, grabbing the other woman by the hair and pulling her down.
Mm-hmm.
I put myself between them, and I stood up. I'm 6'1".
Yeah,
a lot of details.
Them apart.
I'm 6'1", and that popped them apart.
I felt some kind of push to my back from the person who started the fight. And then I did have a megaphone against my face, because I did most of the time. I was trying to ask people to stay away from.
Can you understand exactly what he's describing now? He tried to break up the fight by getting in between them, and he's 6'1", popping them up with a megaphone in his hand. There are cameras everywhere. Not one lick of evidence of this, but it gets even worse.
From our contingent that just leave us alone. Her punch connected right at the juncture where my face is, and the megaphone's being held. It was a punch.
You tweeted the blow glanced off the megaphone and my face was cut. Like, if I read that sense in its context, I assume the fist and the knuckles. I know we're getting technical here, but it's proper to do that. I'm assuming that the knuckles hit the megaphone, and then the megaphone has a couple of sharp pieces to it. Anybody who's holding a megaphone knows where they are, and that ended up cutting your face. That's what you tweeted.
This was a hit. Right?
No, but the fist hits the megaphone.
Look, this happened in a split second.
Oh, now I don't remember anything.
I turned around to look to see where this person was, and I got a blow to the face. And I think this is the bigger question for me.
Forget about that.
And I've asked this person if she's following me on social media.
There is no bigger question than your lie here, Joel. But listen, this is the bigger question. Let's move on, because I don't like where this is going. And move on. I'm a hero. Listen to this. He's a hero. He's a benevolent, forgiving hero. He's not a liar. He didn't lie about a fake hate crime, not once but twice now. He's not caught in the lie. This is the real question.
In touch with me privately, so we can actually talk about it. That's what I learned from the convoy, Greg.
Yeah.
People were this angry in the convoy. And my approach was not to call them all a bunch of names. My approach was to say...
Not to call them a bunch of names? You said that they assaulted you when they didn't. Not to call them a bunch of... Oh, my God. But listen, he's not done touting his own benevolent horn yet.
Hey, what motivated you to want to sit in our city streets in the freezing winter for 3 weeks, shutting down small businesses? And many people did not feel safe in the neighborhood. They reported being harassed in our neighborhood. I say the same thing to this woman. Why did you come to protest outside public schools? Why did you feel it necessary to grab that woman by the hair?
The entire question.
Woman was trying to instigate fights with other people.
When you tell one lie, it leads to another. I mean, it's pathological. And do you notice the shift? It's confusion. Now this is the deal. Forget that question. Let's move on. So now it's gone from I was punched in the face. Video evidence comes out showing his bullhorn, his megaphone, hitting him in the face. And then it turned into his clarification tweet. Someone hit the phone went into my face. Now it's turned into him breaking up a fight between two women. He's 6'1". He got in between, stood up and popped them apart. And he had his megaphone in his hand as he was doing it. Wait until you see this. Hold on. Oh, son of a beasting. I better have it. Where is the video? Is this it? I believe this is it. This is it. This is the video, apparently, of the altercation with the two women. Let's just watch this. We're gonna watch this once, and I'm gonna pause it through. Grabbing hair.
He's going right back in. Well, do something about it.
Does anyone see Joel Harden there? He stood in between with his bullhorn. There's a guy with a bullhorn right here. Joel Harden, who was wearing that wildly visible rainbow blazer. Does anyone see Joel Harden here? Does he come in between? Well, they're like spraying water on them, like okay. Does anyone see Joel Harden? The answer to that is no. And so now more video evidence has come out showing, this is from Amerikai Hirek Objektivan. He keeps lying. I have video evidence. I was there, my own video. As I had been saying from the beginning, everyone had a video camera. Everyone was recording. I guarantee you, you could piece 360 video of that entire protest from beginning to end, given all the cameras. Joel Harden wasn't even around when the two women fought in Ottawa at the protest. He lied about that too. All right. That's that. That's where we're at with Joel Harden. For now, hold on one second. Let's bring this up. Where was Joel Harden, however? Here's a video of Joel Harden. That dude on the left in the multicolored, very, very visible rainbow jacket, who, if he were there breaking up a fight between two women pulling at each other's hair because he's 6'1" and he popped up in the middle with his, because he's got a lot of experience breaking up fights. That's him right there. That's him standing next to a goon wearing a face mask, pointing an audible weapon directly at the ear of Karim Assad. Watch this. Watch this. Look at how proud he is. Oh, and then he covers his face with the trans flag. So that noise is wickedly, wickedly painful and annoying and directional. This is like an emergency sonar device. If you need help, you know, it's like an assault whistle. You do like fast blasts of it so that people know something's going on. This is not intended to be used for prolonged use. It's not intended to be used within proximity of someone's ears, as we see. How close are we here? How close is this? Couple of feet? Under Canadian law, and I suspect it's elsewhere, it's assault to scream into someone's ear. It's assault to use audible devices as weapons, as this individual who looks, you know, clearly very friendly and very non-menacing is doing right now. And look at the proud smile, that smug smile on Joel Harden's face as he stands next to a goon who is performing what I believe to be an act of assault on none other than, if we're playing the identity politics game, a woman of color. Two white men standing by while they assault a woman of color, Karim Assad, who reacts more patiently and more restrained than most people would. Look at his face. Look how proud he's got his armed goon carrying out his actual, what I believe under Canadian law would qualify as assault. Look at him. Look at him. Proud. There he is. This was before. I guess this was before he was punched by the protesters. And then the hero that he is hides behind the trans flag. So not only does it seem that Joel Harden was not assaulted, lied about it, not once, but twice, and maybe thrice now. It seems that he was in attendance with, I wouldn't say he's aiding and abetting assault. He's using a goon, a young white male goon, to carry out an act of assault on Karim Assad, while pretending to be the victim in all of this. Where's the Canadian media on this, by the way? Relatively silent. Where's the mainstream media covering this? This is a sitting member of provincial parliament lying to his, and by the way, lying to the world, and shoulder to shoulder with a baklava-clad young white male carrying out probably what is an act of assault on a Canadian citizen, and standing there proudly, and then hiding his face behind the trans flag. Where is the media? Where are the politicians? Well, let me tell you where some of the politicians are. Jagmeet Singh put out his, I'm proud of my boy. I'm proud of him for lying about a hate crime. I'm proud of him for standing shoulder to shoulder with goons who are using emergency sonar devices as weapons. I'm proud of him. Turns out Desi Media ran into Jagmeet. I don't know how this happens. Like, how does this happen? Good stuff. Hold on. Let me just read what Desi Media said here. Then we're going to see what Jagmeet has to say. He was very quick to come out to say how proud he was of his boy, who now seems to have fabricated a hate crime. Sitting member of Ontario New Democrat Party provincial parliament. Desi Media says, Desi Media at Chris Desi. I ran into the Jagmeet Singh on Spark Street and asked him about the alleged assault on Joel Harden, as well as his involvement with CPAC union leaders that, along with Harden, blocked the Portage Interprovincial Bridge during the strike and Broadview on Avenue on Friday. Here, listen to this.
Just wondering if you'd like to comment about the alleged assault of Joel Harden.
Nope.
What about your support? You realize?
Nope. I don't have to talk to you guys, you idiots. I only talk when I want to talk. I don't have to answer to the citizens that I'm purporting to represent.
It's come to, you're going to make a statement? Like, it's come out with video that's not what happened, what was alleged.
How much was that
There
suit?
was multiple assaults that day.
How much was that suit, Jagmeet? Man of the people.
Okay. You don't care to comment about that? What about that?
Unbelievable. He has made a public tweet, quote tweeting, promoting a fabricated hate crime hoax. The man has been caught lying repeatedly, sitting member of provincial parliament for his party. He came out and said how proud he was of him. Now that it's come out that it's a lie, what does he have to say?
Just wondering if you'd like to comment about the alleged assault of Joel Harden.
Nope.
No? What about your support?
That would mean I'd have to answer some questions. That would mean I'd have to actually be held to account for the lies that I've propagated. This is the absolute state of Canadian politics. The NDP, I'm just going to call them like the nasty deception party. The NDP participating in this, sitting member of the MPP lying about this. NDP says nothing about it. Liberals have said nothing about it. The Conservatives, I'm shocked, have been so silent on it. I can't say that they said nothing about it. I'm just not sure that they said anything about it. Canadian mainstream media has said nothing about it, with the exception of one relatively soft piece written by Joe Warmington from the Toronto Sun. And I tweeted at Joe saying this is very, very weak journalism. I have nothing against Joe Warmington. I think he as far as legacy media goes, at least he's reporting on the story, even if it reads to me like a powder puff piece. This is what Joe Warmington has to say. And I'm gonna, in as much as I tweeted out my objections to the factual omissions in this story, listen to the wording of this. Warmington, MPP punched in face at transgender protest or was cut from megaphone? Well, the phrasing here is problematic because either he was punched in the face or he lied about it. That's the material distinction. Not how did it happen? Did he lie about how it happened? Look at that face. Let's compare it to when he's standing there so proud when his goon is pointing a sonar device in the ear of Karima. The protest and counter-protest over transgender studies drew blood. Already sounds like. The question is, was an Ontario MPP punched in the face or did he accidentally cut himself with a megaphone? That's not the question, Joe. The question is, was an MPP punched in the face or did he lie about getting punched in the face? We know that he cut himself with a megaphone. We have the video of it. Was he punched in the face, or did he lie about getting punched in the face? And if he did, why did he lie about it? It seems people on all sides experienced it differently. Yeah, some experienced it as it's based in reality and photographic and video evidence, and others lie. Others experience it as a lie. Those in favor of trans education feel this was a hateful attack that illustrates the danger of LGBTQ plus people are in, while opponents ask if Canada's own Justice Millette moment were an actor in Chicago, yada, yada. Okay, fine. Meanwhile, the NDP MPP says he was punched in the face at the protest over the transgender ideology, yada, yada, yada. He does not want to bring police into it. Oh, I'm sorry. If a member of the parliament was assaulted by a protester, the police are getting involved in it. You know why he doesn't want to get police involved in it? Because it's a goddamn lie. He knows it's a gosh darn lie. Sorry, I should have said that. He knows it's a gosh darn lie, and he doesn't want it to be exposed as a gosh darn lie. But guess what? Too late, and the internet is not forgetting about this, Joel. Hope you're okay. Oh, yeah, I hope you're okay. I do not want the woman charged because he's such a benevolent liar. I would rather want to talk to him. We got this crap, this verbal diarrhea. While someone on Twitter responded saying, I am that. Okay, forget that part. Certainly his original tweet on the alleged assault garnered much attention. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Responding to Luc Lebrun, tweeting, this is absolute madness. The far-right mob isn't even at the school anymore. They're just in the streets. And he said, yeah, and they're punching people in the face. With those words, Harden posted a picture of himself with a cut on his face, something that drew many replies of concern and sympathy, including from the Ontario and federal NDP leaders. Hope you're okay, Joel. Yada, yada, yada. Her federal counterpart, Jagmeet Singh, I'm proud of you. We got that part already. You know what's also noticeably missing from this article? And I say this not because I'm insulted, but because it was material to the article. Any of my tweets, any of my statements on this, it's very, very interesting what's omitted from this article. Any attempt to contact me for comment on this story? Because, you know, I didn't get the smoking gun evidence. That was Kareem Assad who got that. But I certainly started the hashtag Justice for Joel movement. Because if Joel were in fact punched in the face, I'd want to know who did it. But moving on with this article, Harden, who has been in controversy before over strongly denounced comments he made about Israel, has not responded to requests from the Toronto Sun for comment. But he did tell the Trillium publication, which covers the idea, he was sucker punched by a woman in connection with the protest. Oh, it's getting a sucker punch now. The Ottawa Sun was at the protest and reported Elston, known as Billboard Chris for yada, yada, yada. Okay, what is this here? She punched me once in the back, and I stupidly looked over my shoulder to see where she was, and she rabbit punched me, he said. It's what it was. I'm totally fine anyway. Move on. Forget about it. Got Jordan Peterson commented here, but it does get even worse. Someone on Twitter posted a video clip that offers angles that they suggest show he was cut, not the result from a punch, but from the protruding metal on the megaphone. City Councillor Ariel Troster tweeted, it was a, quote, smack punch that smashed the megaphone into Joel's face and many other instigators of violence among the anti-trans crowd. This is my other issue with Joe Warmington's article. That was Ariel Troster's second statement. That was her second lie to cover up from her first statement, which was, I saw my dear friend and in brackets and MPP get punched in the face. No attempt to show that Ariel Troster, in addition to being a pathological blocker on Twitter, seems to be a pathological liar on Twitter, which might explain why she is a pathological blocker. That was her second tweet on the subject. The first one was, I saw my dear friend and MPP get punched in the face. Oh, what's that? My dear friend and MPP changed his story, so I better change mine? No contradicting the statements here. No comparing them from Joe Warmington. Maybe he didn't know that they existed. No comparing them. Just That's what Ariel said. That was Ariel's second statement in order to cover up and modify her first statement, which is a demonstrable lie because Joel was not punched in the face. Here's another point of contention I have with Joe Warmington's journalism here. Lawyer Paul Champ wrote on Twitter, video from another angle shows protesters strike the megaphone into his face. You know what the only problem is? Paul Champ, who was the attorney for Ottawa during the Rouleau Commission, I have now asked Paul Champ 3 or 4 times, where's that video from another angle to which you refer? He hasn't provided that. Why hasn't Joe Warmington held Paul Champ's feet to the fire? Hey, Paul, Champ. Hey, Champ, you're a member of a professional order. You wouldn't come on the internet and lie. You're a lawyer. Where's that video from another angle? Show it, because you haven't showed it yet. Warmington doesn't do that either. What's this? Is this the video here? Let me see here. Oh, this is the smoking gun. This is the smoking gun video courtesy of Karim Assad. And boot right into his face. Oh, there's a video from another angle that shows that someone pushed the bullhorn into his face. Can we see that video, Paul Champ? Why haven't you given us that video, Paul Champ? Okay, we got Jordan Peterson. It's unclear if he and the woman have set a date to sort it out. This is his invitation to the woman. What needs to happen to prevent further escalations is both sides in such a demonstration must stay on the opposite sides of the street so no one gets seriously hurt. What serious to prevent further escalation presupposes that the escalation that is alleged occurred in the first place. So I'm hoping Joe Warmington does a follow-up on this. I'm hoping the Yahoo News article that initially covered this story does a follow-up on it. Thus far, I don't think they have. But one thing is for certain, this is not going away. And the internet is not going to let it go away because this makes a mockery of Canada. It makes a mockery of Canadian politicians. And it allows for the continued demonization of a peace-loving swath of the Canadian population. You know, the power lies in the accusation. And they can muddy the waters, which is what they're trying to do, so that the initial accusation gets diluted down and nobody knows what to make anymore. But I heard that at some point, an anti-trans violent far-right mob punched Joel in the face. And that's what's going to stick in the aggregate collective consciousness of the memory of Canada. I won't let it. It's an injustice. It was a peace-loving crowd. There were some kerfuffles, but there is a difference between kerfuffles of a poorly managed protest, because I don't know why in the name of sweet merciful hell the police led the protesters down a street and then allowed the counter protesters to flank them on both ends of the street. I don't know why the police would do that. It's almost like the police were deliberately manufacturing a situation where there would be that type of escalation potential, if only because people are crammed together and literally locked in on a street on both ends. The article is missing key details, Joe Warmington. It seems people on all sides experience it differently. There's literally video he hit himself in the face with his bullhorn. Ariel Troster said she saw someone smack punch him in the face. That was her second version of events to cover for her initial lie that she saw her dear friend and MPP get punched in the face by haters. Paul Champ referred to a video from another angle that allegedly contradicted the hoax theory and then never provided a link to that theory. Very weak journalism, respectfully submitted. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't think journalism exists in Canada anymore. Whether or not it's politically driven, whether or not you can't even call out a politician for a lie, because what might happen here? I don't know what connections the Toronto Sun has to the government in terms of subsidies, advertising. What happens if Joe Warmington comes out and proves that an NDP member of provincial parliament lied? And it makes the NDP look bad. It makes Jagmeet Singh look bad. It makes the protesters look good, and it makes the counter-protesters look like violent thug liars. What happens then? Maybe, I don't know, maybe the government decides we're not advertising certain COVID ads, certain government ads. Maybe you're not, maybe you won't get credentials. The Toronto Sun's going to get credentials, but maybe we're going to pull some advertising. Maybe we'll just, we'll take our government ads to the Toronto Star. They seem to be a lot more amenable to towing the line for us.